Okay, so welcome everybody to the Mystical Development Meetup. I'm Ross Cessna. You guys know that, but in case anybody is watching this video later on, they might not. This is really an opportunity to do a little bit of self-reflection, give yourself some attention, and then after this portion, the recorded portion is done, we do have a discussion as well, where we can kind of talk about where we're at, what's going on. And yeah, you can join us sometime if you're seeing this later. The link is in the description. With that said, I'm using a different deck of cards tonight. These have little messages on them specifically. They're not tarot. And this one says, when I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. I'm going to read that one more time, and then we can kind of think on it while we go through everything. And then before we do the discussion, I'll read it again. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. One of the things that I would say that speaks to me on this before we get into the exercises is the sun aspect, or the light. And it makes me think of how light makes plants grow towards it. And generally, light is encouraging us to grow, to expand, to evolve, to adapt, to like overcome some of the things that might be holding us back and break free or grow beyond our current limitations. That's what comes up to me. And then we'll kind of touch back on that later on. And with that said, let's transition to the other view. There we are. And I might get attacked by a pug when I lay down and do this because my dog is here. She's normally at my mom's, but we'll see how she does. So if you're able to lie down, or if you're sitting in a chair or wherever you might be, you can still participate in this. This is called progressive muscle relaxation. The first thing that you're going to want to do is tense the muscles in your leg like this. So you lift your foot up and then bring it back down. Do it again. And you want to breathe in when you lift up and breathe out when you lift down. One more time. And then we'll do it on the other side. So breathe in. And again. And what this is good for is releasing anxiety, producing calm. It will help you sleep better, reduces tension, and overall, just kind of puts you in a better mood. And that's, before we get too far into this, notice how you feel now, and then we'll look at that at the end of our practice too. This next one is kind of funny, but you're going to clench your butt cheeks and breathe in. And then unclench them and breathe out. Let's do that 2 more times. Then you are going to move your arms by the sides of your body and make a fist with one of your arms. Kind of tense that whole side of your body up, and then release it. Bring it back down. Breathe in and tense. Breathe out, relax. Breathe in. And out. And we'll do it on the other side now. Breathe in. This one is always one of my favorite ones because I hold a lot of tension in my shoulder blades and my back below my neck. This next one, we scrunch our shoulders up to our ears. Breathe in. And then back down, breathe out. Shoulders up to your ears, breathe in. Back down, breathe out. And again, breathe in. And breathe out. And the last portion of this, you're going to scrunch the muscles in your face, like make a mean, squished up, angry face. Breathe in and lift your neck up. Then breathe out, bring it back down. And if you haven't noticed, we do kind of all of these movements 3 times each time. It's just a better way to kind of go through everything. I see somebody else has joined us. Hello, glad you could make it. Next part of this, you're going to sit cross-legged like this. You're going to take one of your feet and one of your hands to the side and just find a nice rhythm and do this circularly. And the more you make time and go the other direction now, the more you make time to do this, the more you'll kind of have awareness of where you hold stress. And when you're moving into that stress space, if you have that awareness, you can notice before you kind of get too far into it and begin to take care of yourself and pull yourself out of it. A lot of stress can be avoided with a little bit of mindfulness and a little bit of attention and kindness to ourselves. And it saves a lot of damage control later. And I say that from personal experience. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is these are just some neck motions, and you're going to start with your chin down here, and you're going to breathe in and lift your head up. And then breathe out and bring your head down. Breathe in, lift your head up. And down. And just so you know, you can find your own rhythm with any of this. You don't have to follow along with me. It's whatever is comfortable and natural for you. Now we're going to go left to right, whatever that looks like for you. And you're going to start on one side and breathe in. And then go back and breathe out. Kind of like a water sprinkler with your breath. And for me, the visualization of acting like a water sprinkler is refreshing for whatever reason. Something different might come to mind for you, and that's perfectly okay. Or nothing may come to mind, and that's okay too. Next thing we're going to do is just some head circles, and we'll do 3 of those. Just kind of go with whatever feels comfortable. At the pace of movement and breathing that feels good and natural. Just do 3 of those and then go back the other direction. It's funny too, because before this, I really was not feeling like doing any of this. And now the deeper that I get into doing it, the more calm and centered and relaxed I feel. And the more grateful that I am that I do this, and the more grateful I am that other people show up, because it keeps me accountable too, right? So thank you all. And next thing, we're going to do the eye movements. You don't have to do these with your eyes open. I just do it so you can kind of see what I'm doing in case you don't understand. But I do suggest shut your eyes. So we're going to start by looking up and breathe in, and then breathe out and look down. And you really want to keep your neck and shoulders straight and just move your eyes. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, look down. And next we're going to go side to side. So start on the one side and breathe in, and then breathe out and go to the other side. And you want to do this as slow as possible. It's hard sometimes to do it slowly, and it's even more challenging with my eyes open. It's because of the bright light, so do what feels natural. But the slower you go, the more benefit you'll probably get from it. And then lastly, we're going to do the eye circles. So you're going to start by looking up and then just go in one direction for 3 circles. And then 3 the other direction. And next, rub your palms together and build up some heat from the friction. And then just gently rest your hands over your eyes for a moment and feel the warmth. And if you want, you can kind of picture radiating warm, healing energy to your eyes from your palm chakras. All of us latently do have healing potential. Um, it just needs to kind of be awoken, and this is a good exercise to begin practicing that. Sit with it for just a little bit longer. And next, one of my more favorite exercises, you're going to stretch one of your legs out and just kind of lean into it. Be as gentle as you need to be here. Don't force, don't push. Um, just get comfortable. It's interesting too, because the more you do this, the more you realize how you wear your stress, like I mentioned earlier. Um, and the more you realize how you wear your stress, the more it makes you realize what situations aren't healthy for you when you recognize your body kind of tensing up or acting differently, or how you might need to reframe or restructure how you perceive situations. It shows you where some of the work is, I guess. And now that you've kind of had a chance to let that get supple and get some blood flow and all that into it, you're going to put your hand, or sorry, put your foot in your elbow and just kind of gently rock it. And then come down onto your elbow and work this area out. Just kind of rock back and forth, trying to massage your butt cheek. Normally, I like to say how little tension I'm holding in this area. Tonight, it's a little bit painful. Do one more rotation on that side, giving myself a little extra love on that one. Just do the same thing on the other side. Just kind of get comfortable and lean into it. This is one of the things that my therapist had taught me, and I found it incredibly useful then, and it's even more potent now, is when you're really stuck up in your mind or having a lot of mental chatter or dealing with intense emotions, our tendency is to try to like think through them. But what we actually need to do is put our body in motion. And I've really found that to be true in my own personal experience as well. And I'm sure other people here could probably attest to that if they look at it. So now that we've had a chance to kind of limber this up, pull the other foot up into your shoulder, up into your arm, your elbow, Oh man, I need more rest. And just rock back and forth with it. And this is kind of a weird play on words, but if you look at the word exercise and then exercise in the essence of removing demons, like there's this sense of relieving stress. I'm not making that directly clear of what I'm trying to say, but I'm sure that people get it. There's kind of a corollary, even though it's different things. Hopefully that's not gobbledygook, but I'm big on etymology and kind of the origins of words and how words are used. So maybe it's just my own geekiness that sees the connection. But anyhow, next thing you're going to want to do is this is called butterfly pose. Put your feet together. Um, you can hold on to your toes if it's comfortable and just kind of gently move your legs like you're flapping your little butterfly wings. And honestly, this kind of practice is transformative, so it's nice to kind of honor that. Um, there's a cool little metaphor about butterflies that I think is interesting. So when they're caterpillars, um, they make the cocoon, then they completely liquefy themselves to reform themselves as butterflies. But science shows that they still actually retain some of the memories of the caterpillar, and a lot of transformational processes like this are the same, right? You almost become something different than what you started out as, but you obviously still maintain your memories of kind of how things were before. So it's an interesting experience. So now we're going to stand like this. Honestly, let's do something different this time. Then we'll do this other movement. There's this whole practice of standing certain ways and using like body positioning to help reframe your mind. I forget what the specific name of it is. This is kind of all off the cuff. I just know that it's a thing. So what we're going to actually do here is just stand confidently. Stand whatever confidence looks like to you. You can do kind of like the hero pose, um, whatever being comfortable in your own skin feels like. Let's just stand in that for a little bit. All right. And now we can kind of go into these hip motions. But if you consciously do stuff like that, when you're in situations where you're nervous or where you're feeling uncomfortable, just putting yourself in a more confident body posture can make all the difference in the world. And sometimes that's just straightening back your back when you're sitting, or um, all sorts of different little things like that help. We're going to move into the Tai Chi now. So before we get started with this, just in case somebody's watching this video later on and you don't know, when we move forward, you want to breathe out generally. And when we pull back, you want to breathe in and then lift your toes up. Um, you don't have to get that motion down the first time. It took me a while to get it. Maybe you're more coordinated than me. Hopefully that is the case. But it will help you understand kind of what's going on here, because there's like a deep esoteric symbolism in Tai Chi and things like that, which actually holds a lot more meaning behind some of these movements. But anyhow, we're going to start with our hands flat like this. Start with whatever foot forward feels comfortable to you, and you're going to breathe out. Open your hands like this, rock back, point your toes up. And this move is called calming the waters of the heart. And I wish I remembered all of the names of the moves, but I don't. But you do get that one. Okay, we're gonna rock forward, breathe out. And one more. And then we will close that out. This is the part of the exercise where I start getting warmed up. Okay. And you're going to start with your right, or one of your hands on the bottom, one of the hands on top, and then just move to the other side. And when you get there, it's going to rotate, go back the other way. And again. And one more. Renji, it's okay. And then we'll close it out. Renji. All right. For the next one, you're going to make a ball of energy. You can kind of picture it between your hands here. You're going to start facing forward like this. And you're going to rock forward, breathe out, rock back, breathe in. And then close out the energy. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And while we're doing that, I'm going to kind of give you a little anecdote because the dog Renji barking made me think of it. I was meditating one time, and at this time I would go to the YMCA in the morning, and I was meditating, and then somebody started using the speed bag, and it was obviously very, very disruptive to the silence that I had previously had. And then what I realized is it was an opportunity for me to learn to meditate in uncomfortable situations. And that's one of the cool things about stuff like this is we can kind of reframe how we see that stuff, and it makes it easier for us. All right, we're going to start the same ball of energy. It makes those challenges easier as we go on, I should say. So we have the same ball of energy, and we're going to rock forward, breathe out. I did that wrong. Let's try that again. Okay, breathe out, break it down underneath. It's so weird. I do this every morning, but like trying to talk and do it throws me off. I'll do it on the other side. And then close it out. Now we'll do the other side because I'm back and focused. Start with the ball of energy down in your knee. Breathe in, lift up. Break it open, breathe out. Then we will close it out. Do it on the other side. Breathe in. And then close it out. Turn this way. Put your hands like this and just slowly move to the other side. Roll the ball of energy over. And this is a really, really good daily practice if you ever decide to pursue energy work or things like that. And even if you never decide to, it's a good daily practice just for overall well-being. We'll go back one more time because I lost track because I was counting. and then close it out. Okay, we got a couple more moves here. We're gonna sit like, or stand like this, both hands flat. We're going to push forward like there's a wall in front of you and breathe out. Pull back and breathe in. Same thing on the other side. And then close it out. Now you're going to have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, one hand forward, one hand back. You're going to breathe in and out and in and out and in and out. We'll do it on the other side. Close it out. And for our last Tai Chi move, before we move into the meditation, you're going to put your one hand down and one hand in front of your face and slowly move to the side. And this one is called Cloud Hands. Super relaxing. And if one of these moves feels good, like you don't have to do everything else. If you're ever like stressed or need to calm down, even just taking time to do like 3 minutes or even 1 minute of this can have a big difference or can make a big difference. And then close it out. Okay. Whoa. My ankle's a little wobbly. All right. So get in a comfortable seated position and just kind of settle in for a second before we do anything. Just notice how much different you feel from when you started physically and mentally, and kind of use this as a watermark for what your practice has done for you. And on your next inhale, I want you to focus on the sensation of the air entering your nostrils. And on your next exhale, focus on the air leaving through your nostrils. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. Feel the cool sensation. Exhale, feel the warmth. And let's just pay a little bit more attention to our breath as we begin to kind of get calm and still. And focus on your belly. Put one of your hands on your belly, actually, and breathe in. And you want to focus on filling your belly with air first. And then up to your shoulders and breathe out. And now focus on breathing out from the top and your belly emptying last. We're going to add another hand this breath cycle and put your other hand above the one on the bottom. So it's the top of the belly, and feel the air fill up at the bottom of the belly, top of the belly, the lungs, the shoulders. And then going back the reverse direction. And we're going to do a body scan now. I'm going to say a body part, just bring it into awareness briefly, and we'll move through it somewhat quickly. Don't pay too much attention to it, right? Right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm, wrist, forearm, bicep, armpit, side, hip, thigh, kneecap, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm, wrist, forearm, bicep, armpit, side, hip, thigh, kneecap, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, right butt cheek, left butt cheek, lower back, middle back, upper back, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, back of the neck, back of the head, top of the head, forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, right eye, left eye, nose, lip, roof of the mouth, tongue, floor of the mouth, bottom lip, chin, right cheek, left cheek, neck, right collarbone, left collarbone, heart, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, the whole body. The whole body is relaxed. And just sit here for a moment and feel the room around you. Visualize the room that you're in with your eyes closed. Feel the stillness. Take in any other sounds that might be going on in the background. And now I want you to observe yourself sitting there like you're another person, and you walk in and you see yourself sitting in the room that you're in. And on your next in-breath, you're going to breathe in. And on your next out-breath, picture yourself elevating up out of the room that you are in to where you're now on the roof above the building that you're in, looking down on the roof. And it's okay if it feels like your imagination, just go with it. Breathe in again. And breathe out. And now picture yourself rising up to where you are looking at the city that you live in down below you. And you're going to breathe in again. And breathe out and picture yourself rising up further. And now you see the state that you live in below you. And breathe in again. And as you exhale, picture yourself rising up so you see the world below you like a pale blue marble. And you're going to breathe in again and breathe out and picture yourself rising up even further to where now you're looking at the Milky Way galaxy. And as we're out here, just floating in deep space, I want you to picture a door. Think about what this door looks like. And if you'd like, you can use this door again when you need to. And just sit in front of the door for a little bit. What does the texture of the paint look like on it? What color is the paint? Is the door new looking? Is it old? What does the handle look like? And I want you to grab the handle and think of the sensation that the door handle or the doorknob leaves in your hand. Is it cool? Is it warm? And now I want you to open the door, and I want you to focus on what's behind the door. Think of how what you saw, and if you haven't seen anything yet, that's okay too. But think about what you need to see right now. What is the one thing that you need to see in your life? Is it acknowledging yourself for the strength that you've exhibited? Is it forgiveness for yourself for a mistake that you've made? Is it love for yourself? Is it respect for another person? What does that look like? What does the scene look like? And sit with that. Sit in that scene. Now that you've kind of had that moment, we're going to do a little bit of an energy exercise if you'd like to. And think of someone who could use a little extra prayer, some healing, some kindness, some compassion, some love. Who could use something? Um, Family, friend, stranger. And I just want you to picture radiating that out to them. Um, just sending the good intentions out there for them, and however that looks to you. And think of how that feels to well wish somebody or to wish them good things and good intentions. And next, I want you to picture receiving good intentions, because whether you know it or not, somebody is always probably wishing well for you and wishing the best and supporting you, even if you don't always see it. And sometimes we have a very hard time receiving things from other people. So just allow yourself to be worthy of this, not because you've done anything, but because you're inherently worthy of good things. And for the next portion of this, I'd like you to think of one thing that you would like to accomplish this week that might be frightening, might have been something that created anxiety for you, an obstacle that you've encountered that you'd like to overcome, whether it's a thought pattern, a habit, a task that you haven't taken action on. Think of this one thing, and I want you to picture what it would feel like to confront, accomplish, or complete that task. How would it feel to finally have that behind you? What positive feeling would that bring to you? What does success look like? And embody that. What sounds are you hearing? What sights are you seeing? What feelings, what thoughts are you thinking? And for the next part of this, normally I tell everybody to focus on a specific gift that they would like to receive. And by that, I mean like a spiritual gift or something like that. Um, but I'm actually going to do this differently this time. I want you to picture what it would feel like to be able to radiate kindness to people that you don't even understand, to people that upset you, to people that are challenging to you. Um, what would it feel like to offer forgiveness to somebody in advance for no other reason than they're a human being and we're in very complex times? And what more of us probably need is more compassion and kindness than aggression and anger. Um, what does the gift of compassion feel like to you? And this is going to be a funny little visualization exercise, and then we'll kind of close out the meditation. Um, but imagine yourself in a grocery store and you're in a hurry. You have a cart full of things. There's a long line of people, and a little old lady comes up and she has two things. Imagine letting her go in front of you um, and how that would feel, because although it's a small thing, those little things can make a big difference in somebody's lives. One of my mentors told me that. He said, in regards to working on patience and compassion, let somebody cut ahead of you in the grocery store. And think of how that feels to let somebody cut in front of you. And then think of doing it a second time after you've just done it, because you have to confront the peculiarity of putting two people in front of you and how people might view that. And then also the reward of doing something nice for somebody with literally nothing in return beyond the feeling of helping somebody else. And in a time that's so completely saturated in divisiveness over all sorts of different opinions, I don't even need to bring any of them in here. We're all adults. We know what I'm talking about. Um, to offer that kindness and compassion to another person, despite whatever their personal beliefs or thoughts on anything are, is a very potent medicine that I think the world needs more of. And that's why I'm suggesting that as your gift. When we're done here, you can think of another gift you'd like to offer or another gift you'd like to receive. I mean, um, the very last thing that we're going to do before we close the meditation is just express gratitude to yourself for doing this practice, and express gratitude for the fact that we're able to sit here and do this, right? To have electricity, to have the internet, to have these electronics, to have the time, the energy, and the space to just show up. Um, it's important to remember that if we're here in this kind of environment, we're in the upper 20% of the world in terms of wealth and stability, because it doesn't always feel like that. Um, but we have a much better life than I think many of us understand at times. So just appreciate that and savor that, because gratitude is definitely something that can lead to a lot of rewards in life. I'm going to shut up now for a couple minutes. We're just going to sit here in silence before we move on. Take one more deep breath in. Rub your palms together again. Build up some heat. Put them over your eyes. And open your eyes. Okay. One last thing, just for the people watching this later. I mean, I guess it's for everybody, but this is, since they can't participate in our fun discussion, I'm going to switch back to this view. This is a daily reading from 365 Tao. I really enjoyed this one, so I wanted to share it. For January 31st, it's called Orientation. Planets orbit the sun, forms orbit the mind. Most of us embody disparate aspects in our personalities. These are our forms, the way we take shape. If we aren't careful, we can become confused by such complexity. We should not deny any part of ourselves. We should arrange them. All elements are valid. They must simply be placed in the right context. To follow Tao, understand that a diverse personality is problematic only if some aspects dominate to the exclusion of the others. This is unbalanced. If there is a constant alteration between all aspects, then equilibrium is possible. Like the planets, feelings, instincts, and emotions must be kept in a constantly rotating order. Then all things have their place, and the problems of excess are avoided. Just as the sun is at the center of our solar system, so too must the mind of wisdom be the center of our diverse personalities. If our minds are strong, then the various parts of our lives will be held firmly to their proper courses, and there will be no chance of deviation. And with that said, people watching this later, come join us sometime. I'd love to have you here. And thanks for showing up for yourselves. And let's get on with the discussion.